What's up, everybody? We're going to do a little bit of the WFSO review of. Well, this is WFSO Bucks talk, but we're going to do a review and talk about the draft pick that they got this Thursday. So the NBA draft, yeah, it's this Thursday. So we're gonna talk about that and talk about a little bit about the season and, of course, with everything else going on in the playoffs and their NBA championship win. So how it goes? Um, they they shaking the things up in the team, but we will get to that in a minute. So overall, like this, well, I was gonna say this past season, 46-26. That get them the third seed of the Eastern Conference. They were first place in the division, of course, and of course they won the NBA championship. And this Thursday's draft, they got the 31st pick. They kind of switched with Houston. I think it's the 24th pick that they switched with, and they're just going for the 31st pick. So they must have think that there's somebody that's up there later on in the draft that they probably want to get. So I don't know who. I don't have any ideas because they wouldn't. It wasn't that much they was talking about, or they didn't give much information about the players that was trying out for the Bucks that they talk about. So they didn't say anything about that. So question enough. Um, I'll just read what they say. Like the cupboard is pretty bare after the trade for PJ Tucker before the trade deadline. Milwaukee no longer have a first round pick in 2021, 2023, 2025, or 2027. And their 2024 pick and 2026 picks are swapped with New Orleans as a result of the Drew Holiday deal that they did before the season start. That's not shocking given the GM John Horst and his bosses going all in on the current roster and his championship window, but does make one leg of a preferable three-legged personal stool. Trades, free agents, and drafts shorter than the other two. The core of the team around Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Brook Lopez. All are either older than 30 or approaching it. But being had I think like Drew Holiday being 30 and Chris Middleton pushing 30 and Brook Lopez, I think he's like 33, I believe. I'm not sure. And of course Giannis is 26. So, oh sorry. But anyways, the well the to lost a little bit of raw. So trying to get this done before the start the aftermath show. But anyways, like the memories that we have, like some of the games they played, like when they played Philadelphia, like twice, like before my birthday and after my birthday, that they won twice. They beat Philadelphia twice, and I think they lost one in Philadelphia. I think it was earlier that year. I think it was in January, I believe. I'm not sure. I think they won that one too. But I think Ben Simmons wasn't playing. The Brooklyn series, they like the first game they faced Brooklyn. I think it was just was it? No, Kate. I think it was I think Kevin Durant wasn't playing, but it was Kyrie and James Harden that played that game and they lost. Um, the last two that they played back to back at that was like in May. They ended up going on in Bucks ended up winning twice, but it was without James Harden. So they did that. Um, they they lost against Toronto in the season series 0-3, which is I know some Toronto fans like rubbing in our face that they beat us in the season, but anyways, they ain't make it to the playoffs. But check out that video about like that was talking about the Toronto fans going over the top and whatever. So the link either it was probably up there already or the link already been passed. But anyways, so they split the season series with Houston, which they did made the trade for. Well, they made the switch for when they got PJ Tucker. And we'll get to like all the people they signed and stuff in a minute. But let me read the stat that matters. The Bucks were the only team that ranked the top five in both the percentages of their shots that came in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock, 16.5%, fourth highest, and percentage of their opponent's shots came in at first 6 seconds, 12.6, third lowest. The way to go. There's a solid tradition of getting players in the second unit, including the Bucks landing Malcolm Brogdon at number 36 in the 2016 draft, which of course Malcolm Brogdon ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Even without super slation, sorry if I said it wrong, all taken for one projected first rounder to fall to them. As far as a need, Milwaukee could share up its depth across the board. But with Lopez is turning 34 at the end of next by the end of next season, okay. And Bobby Porter is likely headed to greener money, pastures in the free agency. Um, I don't know what they're talking about, but Bobby Porter's got a player option, and he said he wants to stay. But we'll get to that later. Pastures in the free agency side is a legit need. Couple of bigs expected to go Vincent, a number 31 pick, including North Carolina's Deion Sharp and Western Kentucky's Charles Bassley. Okay, can't click on them. So, like I said, I don't know who they are, and I don't follow like college ball like that. But maybe I should start, following college ball. But like the NBA is like going on too, so maybe like I try to pay attention to like Marquette and the Badgers a little bit, but like everything else, I just don't pay attention to. But this, sorry, just a little bit fun. But so under contract right now is like Drew Holiday, of course. He signed that extension, and well, he would have had a player option this coming off season, but he signed for the extension, the 4 year extension, which will start after next season. Um, Dante DiVincenzo, he has a team option, but I don't know if they, accepted that yet. Pat Connaughton, of course, he's under contract for 2 more years. Sam Merrill on his rookie contract will be his second of a 2 year deal. Elijah Bryan on his rookie contract too. Chris Middleton signed up for this season, and next season will be his player option if he chooses to. Giannis Antetokounmpo, of course, after starting the next season, he will be starting his 5-year contract. Jordan Nwova, rookie last year. Of course, he's going to be there another year. Manati Mikate. I'm I'm going to get it right one day. Signed with them during the season. Well, he was on the two-way. He was on the two-way contract with the Bucks, but they decided to sign him and ended up being the third string center. Um, I think they signed him for for the rest of this past season and this coming season. Brooke Lopez, I think he has a few more years left. So the team is going to be staying intact. But here's the free agents. Brent Ford's got a player option. I say they should keep him, but in case they don't, they need to look for a shooter that can shoot offensively and also that can defend. Brent Forrest, he's still young, but it's going to take him some time, try to get the defense going. But sometimes his offense is up there and sometimes it's down. So he just need to work on this like shooting. Jeff Teague is unrestricted. They end up getting him after Boston let him go. And suddenly the Bucks end up with him, especially when they end up trading DJ Augustine to Houston. They was without a backup point guard, which is cool that DJ Augustine gets to get a ring too, although he was with the team half of the season, so that's good for him. Um, Axel Tupon is restricted because he was in the because I think they signed him during the season, but he was a two-way player. I didn't know Thanasis Antetokounmpo was restricted. Like, but then again, when he was in New York, I thought it was like they had like a 2-year contract with him, but I guess it was just that one. So, for first time players that get to sign like a good like a decent contract, or whatever. So I didn't know Thanasis was restricted, but that's a good thing for the Bucks. So they know they can keep him, which I think they will. Justin Jackson, although they didn't play him much, he was like signed in a two-way as well. So didn't know he was restricted either, but there's a possibility that they may keep him. I don't know, so we'll see. PJ Tucker is unrestricted. They really need to keep him. Well, sign him or whatever. They really need to keep him, so they need to do what they can to keep him. Bobby Portis has a player option. He said he don't want to leave or don't want to go anywhere. He wants to they try to repeat. So I think most likely Bobby Portis is going to stay. So interesting. And of course, they had Jordan Nwova and Sam Merrill for last year's draft. Of course, Sam Merrill was acquired with the trade, including with the Drew Holiday trade. But yeah, and let's just talk about a little bit of the playoffs. Of course, they won the first round with Miami. They swept them after losing to Miami last season in the second round during the bubble. Um, which is like everybody was on their game against the Miami Heat. But um, the second round, which I admit, in my opinion, oh, excuse me. Like I said, like I admit that I think they weren't going to pass Brooklyn, but I didn't give up on them or anything like that, but like if they can do it, that'd be cool. But just thought they would have lost to Brooklyn with their like super team or whatever. But just all three of the players from Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, they all three only played together for like 6 seconds. Then suddenly James Harden injured himself. It ended up being Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So the first two games were in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn won those. Especially one of the games, I think was game two, was a blowout, and I know the Bucks did get embarrassed. So, um, Bucks won the two at home, and then the third game, of course, like it was a close game, and Brooklyn won. Well, that's game five. Game six, the Bucks did win in a good fashion, but I think what was it? Game five that James Harden had returned and played since then. But then Kyrie Irving in game four ended up injuring himself and was out for the rest of that series. So it all leads up to game seven. So game seven was like the Bucks needed to win on the road, which seems like they couldn't do when it was against Brooklyn. But the shot that Kevin Durant made was not a three. It ended up being a two, and it ended up being tied for like overtime. I think Giannis tried to take that final shot of the inner regulation and didn't make it. So it ended up being overtime, and out of nowhere, the Bucks just out of nowhere just came up scoring. It was especially like with Chris Middleton. I think he had like scored like 8 points during overtime that led the Bucks to victory over the Brooklyn Nets. And so they beat Brooklyn out of 7 games. Then the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm sorry. I guess they was waiting for it to even face Atlanta or Philly, and it ended up being Atlanta because Atlanta ended up beating the Philadelphia 76ers 2 in 6 games, which I know like a lot of people were shocked. I was shocked too. So because I guess everybody was waiting to see like Philly and Milwaukee to face off, but it didn't happen. It ended up being Atlanta. Atlanta won game one. Milwaukee won game two. I think Atlanta won game three. Then after that, Bucks had won like three. I think it was game four where Giannis was injured, or it was game three that Giannis was injured. And no, game three. I'm sorry, Bucks won game three. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bucks won game three. Game four is when Giannis got injured and he ended up getting hurt and didn't play. And Atlanta won game four. Then after that, game five and game six, Bucks won both those games to end up winning the series. But almost forgot to mention that Trey Young ended up hurt too during I think it was game four as well. No, it was game. I think he hurt himself for game three. Yeah, it was game three that Trey Young had hurt himself. So I think it was game five that Trey Young returned, but he just wasn't himself. It's like they rushed him to play, which I can kind of understand why, because they're trying to win. So the Bucks beat the Hawks in 6 games to have their first Eastern Conference championship win. Well, they won their first Eastern Conference trophy. Although, if y'all don't know why there's only one that they've been to the finals like twice and stuff, um, They were in the Western Conference when they started. I think it changed in the 80s, I believe. Um, I know I got to look more into that, but I think in the 80s that the Milwaukee Bucks had changed from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference. But I will look more into that in a bit. I'll probably talk about it in a later video. May talk about it during the NBA draft. So it ended up being the NBA Finals. Ended up being the Suns were waiting on us because they defeated the Los Angeles Clippers. So yeah, this playoffs were just like insane. But like the favorites, to win it, didn't win it, and all that stuff. So it ended up being two small market teams, Phoenix and Milwaukee, and Phoenix were the favorite to win it, and Phoenix won game one, and they won game two. It was all going up in Phoenix, and Giannis did play in game one, so he came back. Although he didn't look a little bit like himself in game one, although he did have 20 points, and I think he had 12 rebounds, I believe. So I guess he was still feeling a little bit of the effects of his leg. Then since then, he just been on the scoring surge. Like game two, I think he had like 40 something. Then I know game three when the Bucks had won at home, they he had 40 again. Then I think game four he had 32, I believe. And I think like game five he had 37, but enough about that. So the Bucks won both at home, game three and game four. Game five, the Bucks really needed to win at home, and they did. They won game five out on the road. So they managed to get Phoenix after Phoenix was had the early. I think their lead was as big as 17, I believe. Then out of nowhere, Bucks came right back, and it was a team effort. So game six was the biggest game for Bucks fans because everybody kept saying Bucks in six. Just like how Atlanta lost to the Bucks in 6 games, fans was hoping that would happen the same. So the most of the game it was ended up being like Bucks did have the lead in the first quarter. Well, end of the first quarter. Then second quarter, Phoenix tried to come back a little bit and it ended up, I think Phoenix was up by 7, I believe, at halftime. The game ended up being tied in the third quarter, so Bucks had a little bit of a comeback. Then the fourth quarter, just out of nowhere, Bucks got it. So Bucks won it, and now they are the NBA champions. So NBA champions since the last time they won it, of course, was in 1971, which was 50 years. The last time they were in the NBA Finals were 1974. Before this, but any other times they was like in the Western Conference Finals and stuff, and Eastern Conference Finals. So we know the story on those. But yep, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions. So I know people already talk about like next season and stuff like that, like who they're gonna face and all that stuff. So we probably gonna find out about that soon enough. But we will talk more about the draft, on Thursday because I will do a live video when it close to the Bucks pick. We'll do like a live video on there. So I won't do the whole like draft or whatever. I'm just gonna like I may just start like a little bit when it gets close to there, then start with the I might just start from the 20th pick and just go from there up to the Bucks pick. Cause like I said, I don't know who they're going to get, but according to NBA.com, they need a center. But truthfully, they need a backup point guard if they're not going to keep Jeff Teague, and they need, yeah, they do need another big, like a center. They do need like another center, like a young center. So hopefully one of those needs will be getting in the draft, or they're going to look for somebody in the free agency, which I did find out that August 4th, I think was it. I think it's, yeah, August 6th. They get to talk to free agents, but on August 8th they get to sign the free agents. I think that from why. Ooh, he broke that scooter. But sorry getting distracted during Raw. But anyways, so we'll see what the moves they made. So if they make any moves, I will do a live video. Probably either do I probably would do like a quick video. It won't be live, but at least it'll be, it would be up like right away when I find out the news. So we'll see how they do. So wait, so you see this Thursday for the NBA draft. Like I said, we're gonna start from like draft 20, but we will talk about like who the other teams picking, all that. So it'll be fun. But like this video, give it a like. Um, it will like spread the channel and help help the channel get more notice, and watch our past videos as well. Check them out. Like the games we talk about, like Butts games and things like that, and also talk about the wrestling. So don't forget about that as well. Post video on here like almost every day. This would be the channel for you. You want almost everyday content. Don't forget we're doing a giveaway. Um, like 200 subscribers. Of course, we give away a Brewers mask and a Brewers t-shirt. But I'm gonna add something else. So this is gonna be the first time you hear this. So I'm gonna sweeten the deal for the person that in here on their one when we get to 175 subscribers. So I haven't looked into any of these boxes yet. I got 2 boxes of Lorenzo Kane bobblehead, and then it's supposed to be like, I don't know if the whole thing was supposed to be gold or the glove was supposed to be gold or whatever. That I don't know. But I'm gonna look at these in a minute. But for that 175th person, well, not 175th person, but when we get to 175 subscribers, this will be given away. And all you had to do to enter the giveaway for this, all you gotta do is subscribe and comment. If you subscribe, you're halfway there. All you got to do is comment. The more you comment, the bigger and better chances you get on winning this bobblehead when we reach to 175 subscribers, and the Brewers mask and T-shirt when we get up to 200. So, like I said, I don't know if it's a Gold Glove one or whatever. So I don't know. I'm gonna look at it tonight and go from there. But anyways, please share this video with your friends as well. Um, Let me cut out here because I know I gotta get ready for WFSO Aftermath. So this probably will be on here by the time WFSO Aftermath is on live. So when you get a chance. But anyways, let me get out of here. Thank y'all for watching. Until the next video, everyone, and y'all have a good one.